Myers, the creator and coordinator behind the More My Creations brand. I came today to do a quick crochet tutorial for beginners on how to just hold the hook, how to get a starting chain going that will eventually help you to be able to create amazing creations such as different beanies. This is a lock tam I'm making for somebody with really long hair, maybe some blankets, or something for yourself or some loved ones, okay? So very quickly, crochet hooks have different sizes and will create different patterns based on that size. So what I'm about to show you is using a 5 hook or H. They are lettered. H/8-5 mm for millimeter. I think it's different for other countries, but here in America, this is how we go about stuff. So when creators are, if you're ever reading a pattern or following a pattern, they say you need a size 5 hook or size H8 hook. This is what they mean. So you have different sizes. Obviously, the smaller the hook, the tighter the stitches, the smaller the project, and the bigger the hook, the bigger the stitch. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. All right, so that's that's number one, finding what hook size, and over time you'll figure out what works best for you and what you like. When it comes to yarn, typically when you buy it in the store fresh like this, Red Heart Super Savers is like one of the cheapest yarns. You can get it at Walmart, Joann's, Michael's. There's typically a piece that's in the center that you can just pull out. I know a lot of us, when it comes to marketing and what we see on TV, we just see small balls of yarn and they roll everywhere. You got to keep them in a container so they're not rolling everywhere. So this is a method where it just literally just pulls out of the middle the entire piece or project. Of course, you'll get some tangles like you see here every now and again, but it makes it much easier to do a project when you have a skein. That's what these yarn balls are called, skeins, S-K-E-I-N. And see, this one got 2 coming out it, so that could end up being a problem. Okay, we're not gonna focus on the problem. Let's start with how to create a basic chain, okay? So, you want to start off, there are multiple ways, but you want to start off with forming a loop, okay? So I like to just watch first and then I'll explain it. I like to take my index and, is this my middle finger? Yeah, my index and middle finger and my thumb. I like to hold this piece of yarn with my thumb to my index finger, wrap it around the 2. Then I'm going to continue with the wrapping, but I'm going to make sure that it crosses. And then I kind of hold that cross with my ring finger. Then I come in with my crochet hook. You see this has a top and this is a bottom. So I slide in the bottom one. And if I just kind of release, it'll form a loop. Let me do it all the way because you couldn't even really see that because I'm doing it slow. So wrap, cross, hold, slide under. The loop is what catches, this hook is what catches your yarn to make loops. And so when I just pull my fingers out, see how it makes a loop? Let me do that again, get this yarn out the camera. So you're gonna hold it, wrap it, put your hook under the bottom yarn. You could do it either way. I think I did it this way the first time. Actually, do it under, sorry. Under this bottom one and grab the top one. And then move your fingers and just pull. Now then you're gonna wanna tighten it because you don't wanna try to do a project with it all loose. So you wanna just like pull it up a little bit so that you have some tightness to the hook. Now this is called your tail because this is like the end, it's the tail, that's not the piece you're working with. This is called the working yarn because this is the piece that is attached to the yarn ball that you're going to keep pulling and using to do your thing. So there's another method that people do that I don't do, so I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but let's see. I think sometimes people just, yeah, you could do this. You could just fold it so that it's not super long, so you create your tail, and you could just kind of pinch it. Oops, sorry. You can kind of pinch and twist and just pull it through if you want. And still put your hook in and then just pull it up. Oh, no, you can't do that, see? Okay, it doesn't have the same effect. Well, there's another way that people do this. I obviously don't know how to do it because I always do it like that. There's some way people just be, I think they do it without the hook. You could do the same method, just using your fingers, taking it, pulling it, then put your hook in, if that's too much. Okay, so I hope that was explanatory enough, because that's all I got. Now, when it comes to the chain, again, Crochet is going to determine what you're comfortable with, how you hold your hook. So this little space in the middle of it is like for your thumb to rest on. The difference between this and one of these crochet hooks is these have more cushion or comfort, but they still kind of have that little groove there. So now what I'm about to show you is how to do a chain stitch. So just watch first and then I'll try to explain it through. This is my working yarn and I let it feed through my palm. So, and you can use your hook to make your stitches. You see how I'm moving it? Then I have to move my fingers up. Now, when you crochet very tight with a lot of tension, it can be hard to get it through. So if you're holding it tight and you're doing this real tight, that can like really be a struggle getting your stitches done, but you also don't want them to loose. You also don't want to, sometimes when you begin, you're doing it so loose because you don't know what you're doing, and it's like this, and it's like super loose. So you want a good balance, and you just have to practice. So this is how I try to go back to the first loop. This is how I hold my yarn, right? I let it feed through my hand. I'm closing it. Closing it with these three fingers and letting it fall over my index. Then I'm using my thumb and my middle finger to hold the tail or to hold the project because I have to have some grip on it. And then I'm just using the hook, using my other hand and the hook to make these stitches. So this is what's called a chain stitch. Certain tutorials will require that you chain 50 if you're trying to start a scarf or something. Maybe chain 25 or 40 if you're starting a beanie without using a magic circle, which we'll get to another time. You got to be a little more advanced to do the magic circle. So again, feeding it through my hand, letting it come through over my index finger. I'm lying, hold on. How do I do it? I just do it so naturally. Okay, feeding it through my hand, closing it with these three fingers while still letting it come over my index finger. Then taking my thumb and my middle finger and holding my project. And then again, just using the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, the more you crochet, the longer it's going to get. If I don't move this thumb and middle finger up, it's going to be very hard to keep up with the work. Look how it's getting long and I don't have a grip. It's all the space in between me, so I have to move my hands up. And sometimes you use your other hands to help you get there, you know. Just move it. I could probably do about 4 or 5 comfortably before I have to move my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, getting a little long. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You move it as much as you need to, but get into the action. I'm letting the hook do the work, okay? That's where a lot of people get tripped up. You're putting, this is what's called yarning over. So you're putting the hook behind, and some people do it differently. Let me show you another option. So some people, they don't like this method. You know, this hand stuff is too much. So they'll hold the project and they'll pull the yarn over and then switch hands and pull it through. Pull the yarn over, pull through. Pull the yarn over, pull through. Pull the yarn over, pull through. It's more work, but you do what works for you. This is comfortable for me. This is very comfortable for me. But if this works for you, if like holding it between 2 fingers and moving it over and letting your hook move works for you, let it work for you. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. And eventually when you start being able to make chains, then you'll be able to like connect it. There are certain designs that will require you to connect it from your last stitch to your first stitch, and you would pull through, and then you would chain up. What we just did is called chaining. So then you would like chain 2. Pattern might say chain 2. Then it might say double crochet into the first stitch. So you would yarn over, insert your hook. You would yarn over, insert your hook. Yarn over again. Yarn over, aka means take the hook and pull that thing through. So now you got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. And you see how I use the balance of both of my hands. Yarn over, put in the hole, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we'll learn this lesson another time, this double crochet. That'll be the next thing we learn. But please comment below, let me know if this was helpful, if there's another way that I need to explain it. Let me know if this tutorial, this beginner crochet tutorial, was helpful for you. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.